Personal injury attorney Stewart Vance from the Vance Law Firm is in studio with us this morning, waiting to answer your legal questions right here on the air. Again, that number to call, 420-9732. Stewart, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Sally.
We'd like to remind our viewers that you are a personal injury attorney. Remind us what kind of cases you cover.
Yeah, we typically handle cases where people have been injured and it was not their fault, no fault of their own, whether that's injured in a workplace, whether they're injured in a car wreck, whether they're injured in a store, slip and fall, premises liability case. Anytime somebody's been injured and it wasn't their fault, please call us because we can walk through all the specifics and find out and tell you pretty quickly if we think you have a claim or not.
You know, I go to different locations, whether it's a park or a pool, and they'll have those signs up that say, hey, we're not responsible if something happens to you here. Does that get them out of all the legal consequences, potential legal consequences?
No. It gets them out of most of them, but there are things, and one that comes to mind when you're talking about stores, like it could be, you know, you go in a store, it's raining, people should know, don't be walking through, you can slip down. But the other times, if there's an incident like comes to mind in a store, might have a leak that's on the floor and they hadn't fixed it, or they, you know, that sign on the front when you walk in doesn't get them out of that. They have a duty, and that's kind of what it comes down to if someone has liability or not. Whether you're at someone's house visiting and you get hurt, it's a different standard of being in a place of business and get hurt, because they have the business has a higher duty to make sure that they're looking out for things that could cause problems. So it does help them a good bit, but it doesn't help them always in its specific instances. It kind of goes to what we're talking about. Each incident is different facts. You know, all car wrecks aren't the same. So always call and ask, because we can walk you through the specifics, and hearing your particular facts can help us direct you in the right direction. Whether you end up needing us or whether you just, hey, I think I can take care of this myself, it wasn't that bad, we can tell you at least how to work through with your insurance company, your health insurance company, to get the treatment that you need.
You can offer them that advice.
That's right.
We do have a caller on the line, Tom from Deatsville. Tom, go ahead with your question.
Okay, this is not personal injuries, but a mobile phone company. I switched from one company to another last year. And in my household, there's only two people, me and my wife. And we do not own a business or anything like that. But they had me down as having 4 phones. And it should be, my phone bill should be about $60 a month. Now they have it up about $120. And I've been going with them since October of last year about this. And they still can't get it straight. They have me down as having phones I've never owned, and some which are not in my area code. And they say, well, if we do this, it'll cut off what you have, you know. So I don't know what to do about it.
Well, ultimately, you could take them to court. What I would probably recommend is look to change again and have that one just drop them all completely. Then if they try to come to you and collect for what these bogus bills are, that's a different claim. I would also start by sending a letter to them. Whatever you've been telling them since October, sometimes people think, look, I've been talking to them over and over again. Well, there's no real record of that necessarily, so I would write them a letter. I would make sure they get it. I would send them emails, make sure they get those emails, because ultimately, if you end up in court, the judges of any court like to see where you've made an effort and tried to do the right thing, and then people just weren't cooperating. In Montgomery or any county in Alabama, the district court in each county has jurisdictional limits up to $20,000. So what you're talking about, whether it's $10 or $50 or $500, the district court of every county in the state is where you would make that claim. And those judges throughout the state handle small claims such as that. Now, I'm sure it's not a small claim to you, because you know they're double billing you. So that's a good place to start. Hope that helps you out, Tom.
Good luck to you, Tom. Let's go to Rita now in Montgomery. Rita, go ahead with your question.
Yes, it seems like the gentleman you were just speaking with is having some of the same problems. Mine are a little bit different. I was recently trying to change some of my electronic services, went with a cell phone company, and my problem seems to be that once you give them your credit card and you go on auto pay, then they seem like they have think they have the right to add stuff to your bill that you don't even understand. I've tried to talk with them. I have some things in process now that they say they are working on it, but yet I'm not seeing it taken off of my credit card bill.
Well, and I'm sorry you're going through that we hear that a lot. I would say contact your credit card company, because a lot of times you can dispute that at the credit card end and say, look, don't let them charge any more charges. If you put that in writing, at least it'll stop that from happening moving forward. It doesn't correct that they've already charged your card for things that they probably shouldn't have, so you're going to have to continue that fight with them that you're dealing with. But like I told Tom on the last call, always put it in writing. If you do an email, print that email off so you can start yourself a file. That way, if you end up in any sort of litigation with them, you'll have the documentation to show that you've been trying and it's not something that you just came up to talk about recently. So it can be very confusing and you sort of have to stay on it. That's the thing that we see people get in trouble with. We call it set it and forget it. When you give the, put it on my credit card and it's just being taken care of. You need to always check those things, maybe not monthly, but every couple of months, because you can find things just like you did, or you can find things worse than that. I've heard of people calling our office, but keeping an eye on things that you said on automatic billing is very important, because it could be a mistake or it could be intentional. I don't know what your situation is, but those things can happen. So please always, good advice for everybody, please check those automatic billing things pretty regularly so you're making sure it's performing like it should. So I hope that helps you.
That's some great advice.
Thank you so much.
Rita, thank you for calling and best of luck to you. Stay with us. There's more Ask the Attorney when we come back.